evening. Today I have in front of me a very special person. This is Saliha, and she is a filmmaker. She's also a very special soul coach. She's joining us right now from Australia, and I am very honored and so happy to have you with us, Saliha. Salaam alaikum.
Walaikum salam. It is lovely to hear those words.
Haluki.
Oh wow! Where did you get all of this from? It makes me feel so at home.
I know, and shukran, and yeah, I'm taking the classes. I absolutely love Arabic language, and this is fascinates me. So that's why it helps me to connect with people around the world more and more. And I am not putting any boundaries in me because we can do it. And today, I know that you have a special message, special story that can connect with somebody that needs to hear it. And I'm very honored and looking forward to hear it from you, Saliha. Very, very happy to have you.
Thank you so much. Firstly, Ilona, it's an absolute pleasure to be on this YouTube channel that you've created. I've watched all the things that you've done, all the wonderful you've had those interactions, those connections that you've made that we as the viewers have been watching too. So love all that. The story that I have today is about the time that I was in a place where I had self-sabotaged myself into thinking that I'm not capable, that I am not worthy, that I am maybe not beautiful enough, or maybe capable to do something in the world. So it's the time when I'd had my two kids and I was at home, and all that I was trying to do was trying to write a script, because my education goes back to being a filmmaker, and I did that. I had a really good time. I won an award, and it was a really good time of my life. So I was trying to bring that back in after 5 years of being married, the new life, the new metamorphosis. So there came a point where I was like, okay, I've had kids, so now I need to go back into filmmaking. But if with technology or anything that's to do with media, if you're not with it, you feel that you are left behind and everybody's gone ahead. And so you make it really hard for yourself. So it came to a point that I used to sit down to write a script, and I couldn't even write a word. There was a whole movie in my head, and it was a short film, and it was for humankind. So the story was a very heart-touching story of this man who is a drone operator, and he's going through war as a second person, because he's killing people through a screen and just using his joystick. So the idea was to show that war affects you even if you're a person who's passively doing it, right? So I was trying to tell a story that was very connected. So that story connected to a story of a little child who's in Afghanistan, and how both their parallel stories come to a point of emotional connection. So why wouldn't that story come out of me? Like, why did it stay in me? It was something that I wanted to share with the world. But every time I sat down, I would freeze. My hands would go like, okay, let's go open the fridge or get some water. Or like sometimes I used to be carrying my baby and just thinking, oh yeah, that cartoon looks nice. Maybe I should just get up and do something about it. But that went on for too long, you see. That went on for like 2 years, 3 years. And my daughter was born in 2013. And in 2017, I was still not able to get it out. And meanwhile, I started doing these 9-to-5 jobs, thinking this is how I need to make money, because you can't connect passion with money. So this is a big theme. Eventually, what happened was that I had a really big spiritual awakening, and it started with an event that took place in my life where everything just shook around me, and it gave me like a 360 degrees jerk, like, whoa, whose seat are you sitting on? Who are you? What is this body that you are living in? And I was like, it seems familiar, because by this age, you might have felt those kind of feelings throughout your life when you had sort of a traumatic event which changes things. But this time it was like, whoa, I didn't expect it to happen at this age, at this time of my life when I'm a mother and have two kids, two little kids, depending on me. You would not let something like that affect you, right? You can, we used to think our mothers are in control, right? We always thought parents are meant to be parents and never took them as human beings. So you think when you become a mother, you're supposed to become that perfect person. But it shook me. It brought me to a spiritual awakening where I was lucky enough to find a friend who said, when I was in my really sort of this crying moment, I was like, what is happening to my life? Nothing is in my control. Like, I thought I was not able to create that script, but there are other things also which are not working out for me. I just felt so yuck inside. That's the easiest way I can say. And this person said, start meditating.
Mm-hmm.
And I trusted that person so much in my life, that friend of mine, that I said, what do I do next? Like, because I felt like, okay, I'll meditate. What could happen with meditation? What do I do next? So this person knew me. So he said, what you do it for 21 days. And every time you do it, you just message me saying you're doing it. So for me, it's like I need that human person in my life, and that will come across my conversation too. And I started meditating. And I started doing it for 21 days. And on day 21, I was feeling so much better. And so what happened eventually with the connection with God started getting stronger, connection with everything, even particles, atoms started getting stronger. And ever since then, which is 2018 and 17, but in between that time, I've come through a huge metamorphosis, and today where I stand, because of connecting with God, connecting with my inner self, I've sort of come up with my own tools to handle and take care of whatever might come in front of me. Because what I believe today is everything is always working out for me, which is the Abraham Hicks quote that I'm stating right now. And I live by it, because you would just look at anything that's contrasting and you're like, nah, you've come here to teach me, to tell me who I am, rather than doing this to me, right? So this is how I take life now, because of that one event that shook everything.
That's what we need in our lives, that one voice, one encourager, the one person who will believe in us and also will challenge us to get and become better of ourselves, the better version that we can be, who can see the potential and will be able to challenge that potential to come out. And I'm so excited to see that you have been doing this exercising for 21 days, this challenge to see, to meditate and to grow in spiritually and connect with that. I'm also being challenged with one of my friends who's been asking to do the same thing for 40 days. So we have maybe 11 days left on the journey, but having that person in your life who will check on you on the text messages, email you, message you, hey, Ilona, that's the time, let's do it, didn't forget about it. So I'm on it, even though you want to give up or you don't have time, do it. So yes. I have a question for you. When you had this moment, right, that you felt the void, the emptiness in your life, what was the moment for you to recognize the void? You know, sometimes we are missing something and we put it aside. So in what moment did you realize that you had a void in your life and you are missing something profound?
It was that very event that I'm trying to explain here, is that it was something that made me look at everyone and every interaction and every relationship I have, even the most closest ones, from an observer perspective, rather than just being in my body and wanting them to come up to my expectations, or them that why did they hurt me, or why how could they do this kind of questions that go through your head, that how can another human being do this to another human being? Those kind of themes made me, even the meditation helped me to come back as an observer. So coming back to your question about when I felt that void, it was when I started meditating and I started connecting more with my inner self, and rather than just living this 3D life, as let me explain it to the viewers and the listeners, is that when you are a human being, you're normally just, when you're born with this beautiful way of looking at the world. So you're not just looking at the world as like touch, feel, but you have the sixth sense of like feeling everything you see. And we sort of get disconnected from it. Where I was at in my life in that point, I started feeling things more in a different way, rather than just the ego or just like wanting people to come up to my expectations. I started saying, do I love me? Do I love myself enough first? What am I setting out as a reflection to others? And during those times, I was lucky enough not to feel too much of a void, because the conversation started before the void could seep in. Because I think as a human person in my life's journey, I started realizing the void is coming.
Yes.
So I started finding ways to cope around the void before it could come, because I have been in the void long time ago when I was a teenager. And even before, after that, we all go through different life phases. In those phases, I had, I think, sort of ticked it for me that I'm not going to go to that void. There were really excruciating nights when I didn't know about meditation or anything. I was weak enough to like sort of get into spaces where I was thinking, what am I doing here? Like, why am I here? Why am I talking to this person who doesn't care? Or why do I, because you're so needy. You're so needy of that help that you think this person, this thing, that person will do it for me. So with this human person who came into my life, who told me about meditation, it was nothing to do with his entity or anything. It felt like a very divine message for me to do it. Because why would I just start doing something when I was so much in despair? It has to be something that clicked in me, that felt like this thing will stay forever with you if you do it. It's not, even if that person goes away from your life. So it was no more of that dependency. So that's how it went for me.
That's the biggest life message that I want to share with anybody out there that you just mentioned, the dependency. When we depend on someone, that another creation of God, we always fail, because we cannot depend on somebody else for anything in our lives. That's when, because people fail us, betrayal is coming up, and things happen. Sometimes I fail people. I know I betrayed. Sometimes I have, did not meet their expectations of myself. And I do that. And that's why I tell everybody, do not rely on people. Do not rely on me for anything, because I do not want to fail. So I want to ask you a question. So with the people right now out there who are struggling with their identity, who are struggling with this void in their life, who are waking up every morning with this hurt, with this void, with this sadness, what would you tell them today? And what kind of practical tips can you share with them so tomorrow it will be brighter day for them?
One thing I would definitely focus on is the meditation part. And I know it's kind of like when you've never heard of it, or you've never seen it, or some people actually are afraid of it too. And that comes down to fears. I would say what it actually is with meditation is just you connecting at a very quiet, sort of a very silent place which is within you, and just loving yourself there unconditionally. So with meditation, it's like, even if you do it 5 minutes a day, and I know a lot of women and men who just say, oh, we work so much, how can we find time to do it? I think time is the big thing. We have time for so much more. We have time for watching shows that don't make sense to us or something, which is good for the soul too, I think.
It is.
But I think 5 minutes, just start with 5 minutes a day of just sitting in a corner. If you've got kids, put your headphones on, put some relaxing music on if you cannot stand the silence, right? And on YouTube, there are many guided meditations. We could get into the depths of that, but it's just those 5 minutes sitting in silence, and you just put your hands on your heart, if that helps you, because I think most of us, we need healing over here in our heart, and we need to get connected with our heart space, with our loving space, with our unconditional space. So just sit down for 5 minutes, breathe as you do. Don't have to do any techniques or anything, but try to connect at a very thoughtless sort of a point. And nobody can delete thoughts. That's another thing I want to put forward. You just dim everything. It's like a dimmer switch. You know how those lights that go bright and then they dimmer. It's like a dimmer switch. So try to dim it. And then when you do it as a practice, 5 minutes every single day, any time of the day, this is what you do for yourself, little goals. You will see that how relaxed, how that most of it is the issue over here, Ilona, is that people are not feeling the peace within. They're lacking the peace within, which generates all these doubt, sabotage, fear, that person will do this to me, money. All these issues come from this space where you are not connecting unconditionally. So if you just realize that you need to give yourself the time and do so 5 minutes every single day, even for 5 days, you tell me about it. Any of one of your viewers does it, I can guarantee that they will tell me that they felt something which was more like not this, but it was within. It was like this beautiful feeling, and it feels very divine. And not everybody has to believe in God for it. It's how we are created. And if you can connect with your creation, you feel beautiful. And the second most important thing, Ilona, is that I would definitely recommend is that you need to say these statements to yourself, which are called affirmations. Mm-hmm. And what they are I am affirmations. Basically, you tell yourself that you're good enough, that you're worthy enough, that you're beautiful enough to do anything around you. And once you self-talk yourself like that, there is a way that the subconscious mind programs itself to come to a state. And it tells you one day, without you even having to say to yourself, you're good, I'm proud of you, you're worthy. And I'm telling you, the little work you put in yourself with those meditations, with those I am affirmations, even if they're 3 that you say to yourself, don't put them on the fridge or something, because that doesn't seep in. Say it to yourself. Say, I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am enough. And you will see the magic of it. And it's not some external voodoo magic. Right. It's you. We are magical beings. And you will get there.
I absolutely believe in affirmation of I am, and I tell it to everybody, and I'm trying to convey this message that because words have magnetic and electric power to us. When we say it, when we confess it, when we manifest it, some magical thing is happening in divinity, in the divine space where we do not understand, but it has the power in our lives. Wake up as a queen, go into bed as a queen, as a royal daughter, as a royal son, as somebody who has the power to change things around, as somebody who has this ability to conquer and achieve their dreams. Go for it. I can do it. I am a conqueror. I am victor. I am absolutely can change the history. And that's what I love about affirmation of the word of who I am. I am champion. I am a masterpiece. So that's what we're gonna carry this message. And I know somebody else will start to at least doing these exercises, at least give it a try to manifest about themselves, look at themselves and give themselves a little bit of love and chance to see themselves through the eyes of the Creator.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Saliha, for everything. Shukran for everything that you have, that you are doing for others. I know that you are helping them to achieve their path, to see themselves beautiful, to achieve and get connected with Creator, with their inner selves, to see themselves powerful and influential and effective people. Thank you so much. You are wonderful. I cannot wait to get our project going. I'm so excited for it, and the world will find out about it very, very soon. So God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ilona. It's a pleasure being here. And I think it comes down to that human calling, that human tribe, where somebody's out there has been talking to themselves. Is there somebody who can tell me what to do?
Yes.
And if that, what they are calling out to the universe, is connected to what we are saying today and helps them connect with us and to understand us in a way that shakes them, makes them do that action, take that action. Because one thing I just wanted to put out, Ilona, is that for anybody out there, my message would be that when you get signs around which tells you do this, do this, do this, take that action, take that risk, take that leap, because till you do not put yourself out of that comfort spot, you would not know what's
You will
lying
miss
out there.
out. Yes, yes.
Nobody tells you this. I don't think many parents do, many people do around you. So learn within you and learn from you, and through that you will reflect who you were meant to be, your life's purpose.
Excellent, excellent message, Saliha. And I know that God is going to use both of us to do something special out there. And guess what? When this project is going to come out, it's going to be explosive. I cannot wait. So everybody out there, by December, something big is going to coming out, and you're going to find out very, very soon. So watch out and stay tuned. God bless you all.